Yes, there we are. Okay. Just making sure. So I have to wait until the whole thing shows me that it's actually live. So let's see. We got Dale from Ohio's here. Kathy's here. Rhonda Pagan. Carol Prince. JJ's in the house. Yvonne is here. All right. So, how is everybody doing this evening? I hope everybody is well. I hope your weeks are going well. We, I'll give you an update here in a second. Let me go through the normal stuff first, and then we'll go from there. Uh, just to remind everybody, this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask everybody to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you can't abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches will boot you out of here because we are not going to have it. So that's as simple as I can be with that. So yeah, and if you have anything that you want to have stand out for me, all cap locks, please. It stands out to me better. I'll see it that way, and we're gonna hopefully have a good chat. So today, Rob got down here today, and we ended up making a run into town. Roy ended up getting all the components that he needed for his wood stove. So that's a good thing. The only thing he forgot was the fire brick. But I think they have to run back in tomorrow to get some more stuff. So he'll go and get the fire brick tomorrow, and we'll get maybe. So the original game plan for this weekend, somebody had asked about Johnson's wood stove. Well, Johnson's not going to be able to make it down this month, so we're not going to work on his wood stove because I don't want to go into his building when he's not here. I don't go into people's buildings when they're not here. Do I have a key to everybody's building? Yes, I do. Okay, but I don't go into people's buildings when they're not here. Unless they're like when Rob wanted something and if it was being delivered, I could bring it down and put it inside his building. That was a little bit different, like with the insulation and stuff like that. But I don't make it a habit of going into anybody else's place. That's just not what I do. So that's that. But anyway, so what we may end up doing because Roy's here and got his stuff here, we may work on his, and we'll have to see. But we have a couple other projects that we want to do too. We might just November for his. I don't know yet. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes, what the weather's doing, and all those good stuff. So anyway, we're going to talk about the debate last night. Now, did I watch the debate? Absolutely not. Okay, caught all the highlights today, and the stuff that they're saying, and and wow, what a surprise! The legacy news media. I mean, I was shocked. Harris wins. Harris does fantastic. She wins the debate. And this is what I find interesting. So when it was Biden and Trump, you know, supposedly, right, they were saying that he was full of vim and vigor and ready to go, and he was great. You know, it just, and now all of a sudden he's out now because wow, it kind of all caught up with them, and the question would be how long now you gotta I want you guys to realize he's still the president, right? So he's dropping out of the race, right? Supposedly not being forced out. Of course not, they wouldn't do that, right? They bring in the selected candidate because she's not the elected candidate. I really want you all to remember that Harris is not the elected candidate, she is the selected candidate. Remember that all as we go through this process. Nobody voted all across the country and said, "Hey, we want her to be the Democratic, person." The reason that she's the Democratic person, because all that money that was donated to go to Biden was for the Biden Harris campaign, right? And so, also, she's not the incumbent. Exactly, she's definitely not the incumbent, but she's part of the party that's in power right now, and we will discuss that a little bit as well. But anyhow, so now all of a sudden they're saying, oh, Trump looks old. He seems angry. She's in charge now. There is speculation, so we're going to have to bring this up, right? That she had in these earrings that are audio earrings, and that possibly, and I'm like I say, I'm not saying this is true. I'm not saying that it's not true. Speculation is there that she was being fed the answers with these earrings that she had in, that they were audio earrings. And would that shock me? It would not shock me, right? Anything that they can do to make her look good, to make Trump look bad. Uh, Realistically, it was 3-on-1 last night. The two moderators were 100% on her side. Basically, if you, I was watching different parts of the debate, and when they said, basically, Trump is a piece of crap. Isn't that right, Vice President Harris? And, oh, absolutely, yes, he is. I mean, basically, that's how that whole debate went last night. Um, JJ said she was fact checked 21 times. She lied 21 times during the debate. Oh, well, here's the thing: is all of them, have their own version of whatever the case may be. You can't. The problem is too many people are going on their feelings. They're going on feelings. They're not going on facts or anything like that. The fact here's I'm going to lay some facts on you. Okay, are we better off in this last almost 4 years under this current administration than we were under the previous administration for 4 years? The fact is, the answer is no, we're not. We are not better off. I'll tell you a poll that they had as well, and I mean I don't always go with polls, but I will bring this one up. But economy wise, the average American, you're paying more for gasoline under this administration. You're paying a whole lot more in food. You're paying a whole lot more in, heating oil. Your electricity bills are much, much higher than they were before. I mean, everything has gone up. That's a fact. That the fact checkers that come on here, they can fact check the crap out of that because that is a fact. It's the truth. Now, I'm going to bring something up real quick, and I did wanted to bring this up, and I was a little pissed off. I had another video removed, right? Medical misinformation. So I'm not going to go into the details of it, but I'm going to kind of highlight it a little bit. Anybody that watches this program knows that my son has autism. That's a fact. Okay. I was discussing in the video what my son was like before this and what he was like after this. Okay. That's all I was discussing, giving you what I saw as a parent with my child, right? So that was deemed that I was giving medical misinformation, which really pisses me off because it's not medical misinformation, the information that I was sharing. It was my experience as a father and what happened to my child. Now, I gave an opinion, okay, and maybe that's where they had a problem. I gave an opinion of what I thought the problem was with that, okay? And I didn't even disputed. They just removed it, and it actually in the video was old enough that I still had my Santa Fe. That's how old that video is. So it's probably 6 years ago at least. I was still in New York, and it's a game that they're playing, and it's like I'm giving my life experience of what happened with me, my child, the result of that, what I felt was the cause of that. All right. He didn't mysteriously one day, wake up and he was a different person. There's cause and effect. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to go into any more details of that because I don't want them giving me a strike, again, because of the fact. But it really makes me mad that when you are sharing your experience of what happened to your child, that they're going to tell you that it's medical misinformation. That pisses me off. Okay, that really, really pisses me off. But anyway, that's probably the third video where I talk about my son, him having autism, and in that they've removed deeming it medical misinformation. So it is what it is. You know, I've been watching your videos for a long time, and and we know what you're talking about. I appreciate that, Delbert. Yeah, but it's part of their game that they're playing because heaven forbid that you should have other than what they tell you to think, that you have your own opinion and that you say, well, wait a minute, I'm going to question this or I'm going to question that. They don't want that. They don't want that at all. So right now, I have my green tea in my little cooler. I threw some ice cubes in there. So that's what I'm. So my green tea is here, but I'm just throwing it in there with ice cubes. I want it colder. So anyway, all right. So just sharing that with you. Just another irritation from YouTube, which what a surprise. But anyhow, so here's my question: if it was so terrible what I said, why didn't they remove it 6 or 7 years ago when I put the video up? Why do you wait 6 or 7 years? Why is it only misinformation now? You know, so it's absolutely nuts. But that's all part of the game of YouTube. So what do we got? 221 in the chat. We got 83 thumbs up. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate that. Also, it really does make a big difference with the algorithms. I appreciate it for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. Just to let you know, this week I will be live streaming Friday at 8 o'clock, and I will be live streaming on Sunday at 8 o'clock. So just putting that out there ahead of time so you guys know, because if you don't get the notification, you know that I'll be on. Okay, so that's the game plan. I'll try to get it set up as soon as possible, for whatever we're going to be doing. Uh, you know, isn't it because someone reported it? Maybe it's more than you have haters. Who knows? They have they have they're looking for certain words and all that type of stuff, and they got the AI going through stuff. But like I said, if they really have AI going through stuff, um, take a day, go through my channel, remove whatever you decide you want to remove because you don't like it. You know what I mean? It's like they're not getting me on newer videos because I've had to really curtail what I'm saying or how I say it so that it's not deemed a certain thing. Because I mean, heaven forbid, you should have a dissenting opinion of what they tell you you need to think. So, but yeah, it's just a part of the game, and we have to play the game. So, but anyway, going back to the debate, let's get back on track. You have a situation where the moderators are against Trump. They're doing everything that they possibly can to discredit him in any way possible that they can, and so it's and if, which we don't know if it's 100% true or not, if she's being fed the answers through earpieces of what to say, is that not biased as well? I mean, it's just let's do this, folks. Let's do this. She is part of the current administration. There is no denying that. We know that she is part of the current administration. Now, all of a sudden, because it's an election year, they decide that we need to do something with the southern border, right? All of a sudden, they decide, oh, we really do need to start locking down what's going on at the southern border. What you wait to 8 to 10 million people have come into the country. I mean, I don't know what the true number is, but it's a lot, and they have acknowledged that it's a lot. I think they've acknowledged that it's 8 million, and then you got your gotaways. So, how many people really have come across the southern border over this last 3.5 years of this administration? Because we know that they removed all of Trump's policies, and then all of a sudden you had a flood of people coming in here. That's a truth. That's a fact. They can fact check the crap out of that. We already all know what the answer to that is. So now all of a sudden they want to build a wall, you know. Ed, use code words like Marfugel does. Yeah, I hear you. It's just that's irritating too. But that's why I don't say different things. I'll make a gesture instead. So, but April says like 21 million, my belief. Yeah, who knows? I mean, nobody will ever really know what the true number is. And yes, and 1 second after says northern border also. And I've mentioned that, folks, how many times in these live streams they talk about the southern border, the southern border, the southern border. Well, they're pouring in through the northern border too. It's even more porous than the southern border. So I mean, there's a town that half of the town is in Canada and the other half of the town is in the United States, and there's literally like a line that's the border. So what do you do in that situation? You're not going to be able to stop everybody. That's the reality of it. No matter what they do or don't do, you're not stopping everybody. So JJ said, add 5 billion to build a wall, 451 billion to house and cater to immigrants. Oh, and that's the problem right there, JJ. See, here let's put it. I am not anti-immigrant, not anti-immigrant. I am anti doing it the wrong way and then giving them everything. No, the only thing that they should be getting is a bus ride back to where they came from, or just right back over into Mexico. People that are doing it the wrong way should not be rewarded, and that's what's happening. Alex says, I went to Quebec last summer and we crossed the northern border with Canada. Yeah, I mean it's there's certain spots that it's very easy to get over. I mean Niagara Falls is going to be tougher because that's a very big area. A lot of people travel through that area, and you got to go through customs and all that stuff. So you know, but there are parts up there, folks, that it's super super easy to get across. I mean, they don't have people guarding either side, Canadians or Americans, watching that border like crazy. And even in this in the southern border, you can't watch every part of it all the time. You just can't. So it like I said, it's just a huge game. And we're the chumps because our tax dollars, the money that we're paying out through the nose for working our butts off, are going to help people that don't deserve it. And that's my opinion on that. They don't deserve it because they came in here the wrong way. We shouldn't be having to take care of everybody. How come, all right, there are people that are out here don't have health insurance? You know why they don't have health insurance? Because they can't afford health insurance. But you come illegally across the southern border and they're going to give you medical benefits and they're going to give you everything else. They're going to give you housing. We have veterans that are living on the street that don't have housing. Why? That shouldn't they be the priority? People that fought for this country, especially if they were in combat. Being a veteran is one thing, but combat veterans, in my opinion, once again, combat veterans should have the highest peaks and perks that are out there, because they actually were in combat. And we've had a lot of folks that went over between Iraq and Afghanistan and dealt with all kinds of nastiness for a 20-year period of time. So that's a question that I have. Why are they basically cast aside and they're helping people? Here's the thing that I find interesting. So they'll show these people that just made this perilous journey, 2,000 miles from South America all the way up through to come to the United States. Well, here's a question I have. If you've been on this perilous journey, how could you possibly be 300 pounds, right? If you just walked all the way from this whole time period, right, with no food and no water and dealt with hardships and all this type of stuff, but you got a cell phone and you're 300 pounds, how does that work? That doesn't seem like somebody that went through hardships to get there. And that's, again, strictly my opinion. I mean, if you watch this stuff, guys, you can't make this stuff up. So, it is the current administration, which Harris is part of, is responsible for a lot of the problems that we are having now. I do not understand. Now, again, I get that people just there's a galvanization. Okay, either you like Trump or you hate Trump, and that seems to be just the way it is. So their hatred is so bad for Trump that anybody else is okay. But I mean, and it's I don't know. Like I said, I just when you have a selected candidate, Shouldn't that concern the American people? Shouldn't that concern them? Where was the process of trying to get, a whole bunch of people to decide, yes, I'd like to be the candidate, and then go through the process? They no, they just hand it to her. Does that make any kind of sense? Is that part of our democratic process? It's not. It's not how we do things normally in this country. And again, do we really know? And again, I always have questions. Always have questions. Do we really know that Trump decided, yeah, I can't do this, or was he told, you're out? Was Is that the case? You served your purpose. Now you're out. We're going to install this person instead. So again, you know, those are interesting questions. I don't know the answers to them. I don't say, you know, Biden. That's what didn't I say Biden? That's what I was talking about was Biden. That, but Eric Johnson said, "I'm not a fan of Trump. He's arrogant and self-centered, but he's still better than the other candidate." Exactly. Thank you, Eric, and I agree with you 100%. He's arrogant. He's cocky. He shoots from the cuff. Now, I like people that shoot from the cuff, that speak their mind, that don't give a crap about your feelings. I'd rather have you be honest. That's my opinion. Um, you know, and and the thing is, so let's talk part of it for a second, and just bear. You have on the Democratic side, they compared him with Hitler. They said, he's going to be a dictator. He gets in, he's never going to get out, and we'll talk about a couple of things, right? And he's got he's Agenda 2025. He's all part of that. Anything that they can do, like I said again, to discredit him. Now, when you have a rhetoric where they're telling people that this gentleman is going to be just like Hitler. He's going to be he's the modern day Adolf Hitler, right? There's enough mentally unstable people out there that would go, well, he's got to go. We got to do something about this. If this guy is going to be like Hitler, we got to do something. But here's something I would like to remind you all of, just because I think it's interesting. He was already in office for 4 years. Did he get us into any wars in those 4 years when all the Democrats said the whole time he's going to get us into war? He's going to get us into war. He didn't. Did he not actually meet with Kim Jong Un and walked over by himself into North Korea territory? Does anybody remember that? Does anybody remember? I remember that, right? The whole crap of the collusion and Russia influenced the election and blah, that was all disproven that it was spin, right? But so many people believed it, right? With our economy before the whole pandemic, right? Was our economy not booming? Was it not doing great? Was it not a fact that Hispanic and black unemployment were at record lows? These are questions that I have, right? But yet, if you listen, and if I remember correctly, the entire 4 years of his presidency, the legacy news media, all they did the entire time of his presidency was rip him to shreds, rip his family to shreds, accusation after accusation and all that kind of stuff, right? So here's the things they keep talking about. Well, he's convicted of 34 felonies and the bribery case for Stormy Daniels and blah blah blah. All right, here's my opinion on that one. Okay, he should do exactly the same amount of time that Bill Clinton did for his bribery case, for him bribing people to shut up. That's how much time Trump should do. How much time did Bill Clinton do in prison, guys? How much time did Bill Clinton do in prison? Not one freaking day. Why not? It's the same exact thing. He did the same exact thing as Trump. But yet he's never been charged, never been brought up on it. He's not convicted of it. He hasn't had to go through this long, lengthy trial and his name dragged through the mud and everything else. Isn't it interesting how that works? You know, but yeah, double standard just depends on who you are. Well, of course, if you are on the right side, of course, you're the most wonderful thing in the world, right? But again, like I said, once again, the question, and again, we'll answer this question: borders are right. Borders are. Harris was the border czar. Biden put her in charge. Now the left can spin it any way they want to. They can get on there and say no, it wasn't the border czar. It's documented, factual information that she was the border czar. How many times did she go down to the southern border and deal with that situation? How many times? You know how many times? Zero. Zero. None. That's how many times she went down to the border. I think she came close. She was in Texas, but she was like 300 miles away from the border. Now, if you're the border czar, you've been put in charge of the southern border and the issues that we were having at the southern borders, don't you think that you would probably or should be involved in trying to fix the problem? Right? But I don't know. That just it blows me away. Why is that not being brought up? Go on her record. Just go on her record. It's train wreck after train wreck after train wreck. So here's something. Let me ask you guys this. In the 3.5 years that she's been vice president of the United States of America, what has she accomplished as vice president? What can she put her stamp on? I did this in this 3.5 years. What'd she do? Right? What'd she do? Done nothing. Absolutely zero. So now she wants to be the one to be put in charge of the entire country. I just I don't get it, folks. I really don't. Oh, so going back to the economy. So before the debate, it said that 53% of the people said that Trump would do a better job with the economy than Harris. And she was at 37% said that she would do a better job than Trump, right? After the debate, the new poll came out, and Trump picked up 2 more percentage points. It said he went to 57%, and she went down to 35%. So, I mean, what's her experience, right? What has she accomplished? It's this isn't rocket science, folks. Just because you hate somebody, just because you hate Trump, doesn't mean all of a sudden she's the savior of everything. So, they've done nothing at the southern border all this time. And now all of a sudden they say, oh, yeah, we have to do something. Why? Because it's an election year? I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've noticed this is something new. Gas prices are coming down. Well, isn't that convenient? The gas prices, they're not going down to Trump levels when he was in the White House, right? Hasn't gone back down to that level, but they're down from where they were. I mean, right locally, we've gone from 365 a gallon. We're down to like 325, I think. So we're down 40 cents a gallon. But isn't it amazing how now it's an election year and how, they're going to, come on and now everything is different. All her views of what she said, it's all different. Yeah, JJ, that's funny. But it's insanity. The whole thing's insanity. You know, the debate. So here's my curiosity. I would say, let's have on the next debate instead of ABC doing it. Let's have Fox do the next debate, and let's have two Fox moderators on there, and let's see how that one goes. I think that's fair, right? He went on a liberal news channel where the president of ABC, if you guys knew this, right? Close personal friend of hers. Isn't that interesting how that works? On. It's just when you have all the cards stacked against you and everybody's out to get you, right? And I mean, so and here's a curiosity question. This is a question I'm gonna ask. I'm not going to give my opinion. I have my opinion, right? So there has been, and of course, do they bring this up at all in the news anymore? Of course not. This is not brought up in the news. You can look, guys, and see it. It's not being brought up in the news. There was an assassination attempt on Trump. We all know that, right? Assassination attempt on Trump. Now, the FBI is saying that the suspect acted alone and they don't have any motive, no motive, right? Now, my question to you would be on here, do you believe, and this is just yes or no, and I'm not going to give my opinion on this because I don't want them to hammer me. Do you believe that the shooter acted alone? A 20-year-old kid snuck by everybody, climbed up on a roof that was, there was no Secret Service on that roof that would be in range of a shooting, and attempted to assassinate the president. And he did it all by himself. So that's just a question that I have. And I see your answers. And, obviously, very interesting. It seems there's not one going the other way. They're all the same answers. So, but, again, but the DOJ, who has, there is speculation. I always have to be careful what I say. There's speculation that the DOJ has been weaponized against the conservative individuals, right? You look at any of these platforms, YouTube, Facebook, um, Instagram before it became X, before, he took over, uh, you know, were they not all very, very biased one way? And I'm not going to say which way because I think you guys are smart enough to figure out which way they were all biased, right? This last election cycle, anything positive said about one candidate was completely not allowed for the most part. I mean, I'm sure there was people that said things that, but again, a lot of things were not allowed. I'll just put it like that. There was a lot of things that were not allowed in this last election cycle. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I mentioned that already. Whispering Pines, just like YouTube, very censored, very, very censored. So JJ said, Ed, mysteriously the DOJ is dropping all the January 6th charges. Oh, really? Isn't that interesting? So, but I don't know. I just it doesn't take a lot to look at a situation and go, something's not adding up here. Something's not adding up here. What happened again? And I'll say this again. What happened to our democratic process? A selected candidate going against an elected candidate. Trump had to go through the whole process, right? He became the candidate for the Republican Party. He had to go through that whole process. Did she? Was she, through all the states and the people said, yes, she's the one? Did she, or was she the selected candidate? It's a question. We already know. We already know. We're in big trouble in this country, folks. Big trouble. I feel, okay. Um, and how is certain things just allowed to go a certain way? You know what I mean? How are things just allowed to go a certain way? Oh, I didn't see what that person said, JJ. I missed it. But I was gonna. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier. We went out today, and Roy went and got everything he did to get his wood stove, and I think I may have said it. Um, we got all that stuff that he needed today. The only thing he didn't get, he's got two pieces of 3 foot long that he hit triple wall for outside that he had to order because they didn't have it in stock. So that should be in by next week. And then a rambling idiot talking to himself. Okay, all right, JJ. Well, thank you for taking care of that. Well, insane people out there? No, JJ, say that's not true. Mentally disturbed people in America? I doubt that. Actually, I can show you. Hold on a second, guys. Actually, if you watch tomorrow's video, you will also see, but I can show you guys a picture real quick. I don't know how well. There you go. And those were just all the tomatoes and stuff that we picked today. So, but we are going to be canning those as well. So those are going to be canned when, like Saturday, when we're canning. All those are going to be canned as well. So that really nice. Roy and I were actually sitting in there. You'll see the video tomorrow. We were sitting in the garden with a salt shaker, just eating some of them, and oh my God, just delicious, just absolutely delicious. But so yeah, it's really looking forward to having stuff that we grew here at the homestead. To be able to can that is going to be awesome. um, you know, and within a couple of years from now, we will have pears out the wazoo, apples out the wazoo, cherries, plums, all that, and we will can a lot of those things when they come in. But yeah, yeah, it's just like I said, we're going to continue to work on things. We okay. So how's the bunker coming along? We actually went out today. One of the things we're getting things that we need. We got some projects that we plan on working on this weekend, and so one of the things we wanted, the next step in the bunker has got to be the drainage. So we went out today and we picked up a 10-foot long piece of pipe that we're going to experiment. I don't know if it's going to work or not work. We're going to have to see. But we're going to try to use the jackhammer and drive that through um, underground so that we can have drainage where it'll come out lower down the hill and just be on just a slight angle for that. So then once we put the concrete in to the bottom of the bunker, that water will just go right into the drain and right out if there's any water that's going to get in there at that point. So hopefully that will work. That's the game plan anyway. But it's so we're gonna experiment with that and see what we can come up with and all that good stuff. So it's just part of the process of what we're doing. We got some furring strips today also that we picked up because we want to get the roof of the wolf layer insulated without it falling out. And so we picked up the furring strips, and it should keep everything in place. So that's the game plan to do that as well. And we'll be working on that this weekend as well. So there's we're going to be canning and and all that stuff. So I just want you to know, like the apples that we picked at the neighbors, she doesn't spray her trees at all. So these apples are all natural. Anything that we have here that I grow here on the homestead, there's no pesticides or any of that stuff with those. So again, it's all natural stuff. So we know how it's been grown. We know where it came from. So when we eat those things, we know, like just like with the chickens, I know, where my eggs are coming from. No artificial stuff. Like they get to feed in the cracked corn, but like we gave them scraps today, and they were going bananas with the scraps. I absolutely love them. So it was. Just trying to take care of some stuff today, getting prepared, getting ready. Uh, Rob will do a video probably tomorrow and show you what he's been up to. And he was working on a project today. When we got back, he had to pick up some stuff for that project. And, it's just overall, just trying to. He got down here early because he wants to work on stuff. Mark should be here at some point tomorrow as well. So, and he has projects that he wants to work on, obviously, as well. Saturday, we have a lot of group projects that we plan on working on. Do you have any rodent problems? How will you handle them if it becomes a problem? I don't have any rodent problems out here at this point. There's a little bit of mice here and there, but that's going to be normal. I eventually plan on getting cats for down here, and they will be indoor outdoor cats. So their job is to keep the rodents down and keep, all that, any kind of problems with that at bay. So there hasn't really. I've had a couple of mice in the camper here and there, but not a ton. And but yeah, the game plan down the road is to get cats again. I miss having cats. I love having cats. Hell is the best, and she's good with cats. She grew up with cats, so only this last 2 years realistically we haven't had cats unless we went up to New York, and she was perfectly fine with the cats in New York. So, but anyway, yeah, we're so everything's been pretty decent from that perspective. What the long term plans are as far as we're going to get the 50-gallon drums, the not plastic, and get the metal ones with the sealed top where you snap it down and it seals in. I have two that I have outside here that I had picked up, and they're awesome. They work fantastic. They've been sitting outside for 2 years, basically. I think, well, at least over a year, and everything inside is just bone dry, and that's just sitting out in the weather. So I mean, I have the dog food in one of them, I have the chicken feed in that in the other, and I've had no issues with that at all. So that's always a nice thing. But we're just going to keep, like I said, we got plans that we're going to be doing down here, a lot of projects that we want to be doing. Um, Miss Molly's doing good. She is she the senior cat now? I think Miss Molly may be the senior cat now. Um, all the other ones, Max passed away, Buddy's gone, Soxy's gone, you know, um, Lucy, he's gone, he passed away. So, it's just there's a lot. They had a good run. They were with us a long time. Good cats, and I think Miss Molly is now the senior member. Heather has, got new cats. Bella obviously is gone as well. So, she got her new cat when I was still in New York. That cat had kittens, got pregnant by another cat that they had picked up. So the cat had three kittens and they kept them all. My daughter's a lot like me. She has the puppies or kittens, and you go. I, I had, well, when the other cat had kittens, I gave two of them away and I kept three. So they kept all three of the kittens, and so they're doing okay. But everybody's good up there. Becky's doing well. At the moment, Mom's doing good. There's something going on right now, but I'm not going to announce anything until I know what's going on. But just if you're a prayer, please keep my mom in your prayers, and I do appreciate that. And even though I don't pray and I don't believe in it, I know a lot of you do, and I do appreciate that. But there's something going on with Mom right now, and so if you believe, then I would ask you to please pray for my mom, and we'll see what happens. But she's going to be going to the doctors tomorrow, and we'll find out more from that point. And I'll let you guys know. I'll let you guys know what's happening there. So we shall see. But I've been trying to keep it pretty low key. I'll show you what I picked up. So I picked up a brace. Actually, works out pretty good. I put it on today and I wore it today for my knee. Here we go. So got that, and that actually worked pretty good. So and it wasn't uncomfortable to wear. So that also was cool. So we'll see what goes on here. Hopefully, I don't have anything super bad going on with my knee, and we'll see what happens there. And time will tell. So uh, hopefully, it'll heal up good, and I'll be good. And I appreciate you guys saying that you're going to pray for my mom. I appreciate that. Thank you. I know it's kind of weird, right? It's an oxymoron because I don't believe, but I know you guys, a lot of you do believe, and I'm okay with. Come on, Hella, stop. She's underneath. So, but anyway, Yeah, that brace will make you less needy. Yeah, right. But you know, it is what it is. You know, we're just gonna keep plugging along with what we can plug along with. I'm looking forward. Like I said, we already got, Roy's here already. He'll be here through the weekend, and then Rob got here today, and he's working on projects that he wants to work on. And then, like I said, tomorrow, Mark will be here, and then we have the water tanks are going to be coming in as of Friday, 25 more, 275-gallon water totes. So we will definitely be increasing our potential to harvest rainwater. And so obviously everybody's got to get their stuff set up and get that going. And I'm sure like this weekend, I don't know how long Jimmy plans on staying down, but if he stays on past the weekend, I can see Jimmy having his gutters up and his rain catchment set up and all that done. I'm sure he plans on, working on that. Oh, it's time for, okay, All Seeing Cats is already, yes, egg count. Okay, sorry. All right, so before we got 294 in the chat, we got 180 thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so. Don't guess yet, please. I did not say start. Why do I got to go through this every freaking time, Roy? I will tell you when to start, so keep guessing all you want because none of them are going to count. I will tell you when. All right. So first of all, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel, and I do appreciate that. It really does make a big difference with the algorithms, and I thank you for that reason as well. More interaction for the channel, the better it is. So I thank you for that as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. Everybody wants to jump the gun all the time. I don't understand it. All right, so starting right now. How many eggs today? And yes or no for Miss Betty White. So we will go from there. So let's give you guys a chance to get your guesses up here, and we will see what everybody put, and we will go from there. So just give you guys a moment, and I'm going to take another drink. All right, just give you guys a moment to get your guesses in. All right. Now, if you had the same exact guess as Dawn Hill, Dawn, have you won before? Because you won today. 4 eggs today, and yes for Miss Betty White. Congratulations. You have won absolutely nothing, but you are happy about it. So, Dawn Hill, you are the winner. Have you won before? I think Dawn's won before. I'm not 100% sure. But a few times. Okay, well, now you just add another one in. Nobody's catching up with DJ. DJ's got like what, 8 or 9 wins for the egg count, something like that. But I yesterday I got 5 for 5 from them yesterday, so I was like cool. And then to get 4 more today, I was like, all right, they're doing all right. But yeah, they're doing all right. I just put actually one of the things I did today. At more like 12 for DJ. No, I know it's been a lot. I definitely know it's been a lot for DJ. Um, I put fresh straw in their nesting box today because I literally had all the straw was out of there, and so I put fresh straw in there today, and so. But and everybody kept telling me, oh, remember if you guys remember in the garden, I had extra straw, and so everybody was like, oh my God, that's just going to rot. That's not going to be any good. Blah, 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 blah. It's perfectly fine. Isn't that weird how that works? And what I'll probably do, honestly, with that straw, folks, once we get into more fall and all the garden is done, I will, once we get all the leaves and put all the leaves in the garden, I'll take some of that straw and just put it over the top of everything. Then I'm going to basically cover it with tarps for the winter and just let it do its magic. And hopefully by the spring, we'll have a whole lot more good soil to use. That's the game plan anyway. So, Ed, I can't get back to watching the live chat now that my food truck season has slowed down. Hope everyone is doing. Oh, you can get back now. Okay, very cool. Well, good man. I'm glad to see you were able to get back in. Glad to see you were able to get back in. But again, regardless of who you thought won or didn't win the debate, it's really irrelevant. There's a big game going on. Obviously, we already know that. It's very leaning towards one side. Anybody that watches should know that as well. And, it's part of the game. It's all a game. So, have you ever had luck with wood chips? Actually, I'll tell you what, Mr. Rose, up in New York, if you guys remember, if anybody's been watching for a long time, I had low areas where basically part of the low area was where Becky's building is, and that whole section was a lot lower. And what we did is when the guys were coming up um, and cutting back all the trees and wood chip and all that, and they'd have truckloads of wood chips. I said to them, bring them in and dump them. And we probably got, if I remember, maybe 8 loads of truckloads of wood chips that we put into that whole area and spread it out. And that definitely helps the soil. Absolutely helps the soil. Now, you've got a mix of pine and all that kind of stuff in there as well. But, that whole thing is definitely good. What do you think, girlie? Huh? You gonna stick your nose in and say hi to everybody? But anyway, yeah, no. So it's I wood chips can help, but you got to be careful what wood chips you're using. So if you are planning on cutting some stuff up, chipping something, do your hardwoods. Stay away from the pine. The pine, you know what you do with the pine? You burn it in an outside fire. That's what you should be doing with pine. And now I know when you get out in the west, all they got is pine and spruce. That's all they got. And what happens with pine and spruce, that'll clog up your pipe, your chimney cap, all that type of stuff. So I don't burn pine or spruce ever in a wood stove. Now I know some people that's all they have, so that's what they have to do, and that's perfectly fine. But I have access to hardwoods, and I'm going to burn hardwoods. If I can burn oak and cherry and all that type of stuff, that's what I'm going to burn. Cherry is awesome. When you burn cherry, it's awesome smelling. So again, it comes down to personal preference, but I don't want to be up there having to clean my chimney out every month and a half because I have to worry about fire. If you burn it hot enough, a lot of that creosote never gets even in there. So I know, like with the wood stove up in New York, and when I go up to New York, I will definitely be checking that for heather and making sure that's all squared away. Get up on top, I'll get up on top and I'll take care of that as well. So those are things that I'll just make sure she's good to go. So, but I've told her what to do. Does that mean she's done it? No idea. But the thing is, I will double check and make sure things are squared away. But the update is my knee. I got a brace for my knee, Carolyn, and I'm just trying to rest it. Uh, I was out today. I put the knee brace on today. I picked the knee brace up yesterday, and I put the knee brace on today, and it definitely helped. I will definitely tell you that. It wasn't. I wanted to test it out. It was not uncomfortable having it on, and so I just I'm going to rest it over the next several days, and I will see about going back to work on Monday. And yeah, it sucks getting old. It sure does, Don. I mean, I'll tell you what. You know, Getting old's not for a week. Because you better be tough because you do stupid little stuff and you hurt yourself. And I'm like, really? So, but I'm not having a lot of pain with the knee. I will tell you guys that the swelling has definitely gone down. Um, I'm trying not to overdo it, and we'll just, we'll see how it heals up here over the next several days. And nope, everybody said, did you do ice and heat? I didn't do any of that. Being honest, I've just been low key in it, So, and But anyway, I don't. Um, I don't have any CBD to put on there. But like I said, I do a lot of. Some of you are going to think I'm out of my mind when I say this, but I do a lot of energy work. And so I try to get rid of negative energy, bring in positive healing energy. So I do that as well. I find that that helps. If you believe it or you don't believe it, I really don't care. I really don't. Um, I know it works for me, so that's all I care about. And so, like I said, it's we are made up. So, if you get rid of negativity and bring in positivity, it definitely makes a difference. So that's just my take on that. But yeah, no, no, yeah. Well, first of all, JJ, I would never play soccer. You couldn't pay me enough money to play soccer. But I, I, I will tell you guys a true story. Now, I like gym class. Always like gym class, right? And so I always participated in whatever in gym. And this is a true story. You guys would be like, "What a jerk!" Um, so the gym teacher says, "Well, we're going to play soccer." And I said to him, "I said I ain't playing soccer. I said I'll do anything else you want me to do. I said I'll even do the square dancing." You guys remember that from gym class, square dancing? Some of you may. I don't even know if they do it anymore, but we had to do square dancing. I said I'll even do square dancing, but I ain't playing soccer. He goes, "Oh yes, you are." I said, "No, I'm not." So he goes, "Yeah, you are." I said, "All right. If I'm going to play, I'm going to play goalie." So I stood in goal, and when they came down the field, kicking the ball and doing whatever they wanted to do, I walked over and leaned up against one of the goalposts, and I let him kick it right in. Let him kick it right in, and he uh, he says, "Get over here!" And he goes, "Get off the field." And I looked right at him and I said, "I told you I wasn't playing." And he gave me detention, and I laughed in his face because I left school early every day. This is my senior year. I said, "Yeah, right, okay. Good luck with that one," because I left early every day. How are you going to make a guy go to detention that's not even there? So, couple probably the next week, it said, over the PA system. I was there for my English and gym class, I think, and so give you a little backstory on this part in a second. So, I'd come on down to the principal's office, and I'm thinking, okay, they're going to try to give me a hard time because I didn't go to that detention. Oh no, no, there was a cop there waiting to arrest me for like the seventh time for going after the. So my sister got pregnant in high school, Becky. Um, Her boyfriend at the time, um, his name was Ray, and Ray had gotten Becky pregnant, and I didn't have a problem with that, and I didn't expect Ray to get married or none of that stuff. All I expected him to do was be responsible. It's your kid, stand up and be responsible. But his mom told him, no, say it's not yours. So we said it wasn't his. They broke up. He starts dating another girl in the school, and it was a big thing. And I was pissed. And I wanted to fight him. I wanted to go after him, and he would never fight me. And I got arrested a whole bunch of times, and because he wouldn't fight me, and so it was a whole thing. But that was another time. So then the cop was really cool, and they knew the situation and they knew what was going on, and so he takes me to the jail, and it was, I mean, he put the handcuffs in front, let me ride in the front of the car, didn't make me go in the back. Took me up to the jail and said he's very cooperative. He's, don't give him a hard time. And so, I called my mom. This is before cell phones or anything. And I called my mom and I go, "Hey, mom, guess where I am?" And she goes, "Yeah, well, I was because I kept going after him. Yeah, harassment or whatever they want. I have a harassment conviction from when I was 18 because of going after him. But I will tell you how it worked out. So we had to go to court, and I was already signed up to go in the Army, and he was already signed up to go in the Navy. And the judge, we go into court, and the judge says, "Listen, I understand the situation, I get it, and I know what's going on here. But if I see either one of you in court again for this nonsense, you're both going to do 30 days in jail." So that's when I left him alone after that. I left him alone. And then you'll get a kick out of this. So, you know, I went on with my life, did my thing. He went on with his life, did his thing. And they did a blood test, and 99.9% that he was the father. Imagine that. But anyway, which we do. But anyhow, um, probably 5 years later, I was at a point where I had a lot of hate in my heart, and I needed to get rid of it. And there was only two people I hated at that point. One was him, and there was somebody else, and that's a whole nother video story. But I had to forgive and let go. So I went to see him, and we had a conversation, sat down, drank a beer together, and we're friends to this day. Believe it or not, that's a weird thing, right? You wouldn't think so, but we are friends to this day. Because you got to let things go, man. You got to look at the situation, and he was a scared kid, and his mom's telling him no, no, no. So who are you going to listen to? You're going to listen to your mom. So one of those situations. But anyway, so that's all I got, folks. But you know, watch the games. There's a lot of games being played right now. It'll be interesting to see if they do a second debate. And how that goes. We'll see what happens there. But keep prepping. Take care of your business. Take care of your families. Control what you can control. That's all any of us can do. Be as ready as you can be. We are trying to do that here, getting the things that we need in place. And yeah, I should have challenged him to a square dance off. Yeah, right. Oh, that's too funny. But yeah, guys. I'll tell you what. I'm an all or nothing person. That's who I am. That's being honest. When I was married to both of my wives, they got all of me. Um, and then when the first one, I left her, and when I was done, I was done. When my second wife, she left, and that was it. It was what it was. So but I wear my heart on my sleeve. I say it like it is. I'm very passionate about certain things, and I have a moral code. And that's what I live by. And all I got in this world, folks, is my word. And if I give you my word on something, you know that it's something that I believe 100%. So, anyway, please be safe. Take care of your families because that's the most important thing. And I will see you all in the next one. I will be live streaming Friday at 8 o'clock. Another Harris ad. Wow, imagine that. On YouTube? Really? Shocking. So, anyway, guys, be safe. I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.